Hello everyone. So my name's Eleanor and I am a physiotherapist. So I work in the NHS Monday to Friday and I also work with Charlotte on a Sunday, doing the private practice aspect of physio. And what I've done over lockdown is I completed a level 3 Pilates instructor qualification. And what I'm trying to do is to set up a class that can be done virtually in your own home, and I'll be the teacher and the instructor, and do Pilates classes that are classified under the idea of clinical Pilates. And the difference is that clinical Pilates is kind of based on the classical aspect of Pilates, but it looks at movement, it looks at the body anatomy, it looks at physiology, and it looks at all of these body systems, and it's taken the classical Pilates exercises and modified them in a way that aims at ensuring you can have the most efficient movement possible. And so what I wanted to do is just create a little video just to try and explain what the basic key fundamental elements of Pilates are, what the key elements of the class will involve, and just to talk you through a few exercises that can be done in a little routine, just so you have a bit of an idea of what it would involve if you were to join a class on a Sunday. So one of the key aspects of Pilates is looking at the core control and how the core is a key element of our posture. It's important for breathing, reducing pain, and so we really need to ensure that we have our core working correctly and it's optimized to ensure the best aspects of movement possible. So I'm going to lie down now and just show you how I think it's a good way to train yourself to get your core working properly. So I'm just laying my head on a little pillow, just making sure that you can see me. Okay. And what we need to do is there's like a few key elements to think about. So when you're lying down, so you just want to make sure that your ribs just melt into the floor. You want to create a little diamond with your fingers. You want your thumb pointing towards your belly button and your fingers pointing towards your pubic bone. And I want you to imagine that you have a Malteser in this diamond, and you're just going to rock your pelvis forwards and backwards as if you're rocking that Malteser forwards and backwards in your diamond, just to get your pelvis moving a few times. And then once you've got it moving forwards and backwards, I want you to come and rest in the middle, so you're keeping that Malteser flat. And when you've rested in the middle, that is your neutral pelvis position, and that is where you should keep your pelvis whenever you do any Pilates exercises on the floor like this. And then what we want to do is we want to activate those really deep abdominal muscles. And so the way to do this is I want you to imagine that you've got a belt wrapped around your pelvis and your hips. And I want you to imagine squeezing that belt about to a 30% maximum contraction. And you should feel that you activate those really deep abdominal muscles. And one of the hardest elements of Pilates is ensuring that you keep that activation and control throughout your exercises, and it's something that just comes with practice. So once you've got your neutral pelvis, you've got your belt tightened up, your ribs are melting into the floor, you've got your arms by your side, the final thing we want to think about is our head and neck position. And you want to think about how you want to tuck your chin in slightly, so you're lengthening the back of your head. So imagine you've got a helium balloon pulling you up, so you lengthen and you tuck your chin in at the same time. And I like to imagine that I've got a peach between my chin and my chest that keeps me tucked. So we've got our ribs melting into the floor, we've got a really nice neutral pelvis, our belt is tightened around our hips, and so we've got a really nice small contraction. Our arms are by our side, and we've got a really nice tuck in our chin. And so we're just going to do a couple of breaths in and out. And in. And out. Maintaining that contraction. Okay? And then we'll begin our first exercise. So our first exercise is a scissors, level 1, and we're going to breathe in. We'll maintain this contraction, and as we breathe out, we're going to lift that right leg up to 90. You're going to breathe in to hold it. And as you breathe out, you're going to drop that leg down. Breathe in again. As you breathe out, you're going to maintain that contraction and lift your left leg. Breathe in to hold, and breathe out to lower. And we can speed that up, so you can breathe in. As you breathe out, lift your right leg. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift your left leg. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift your right leg. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift your left leg. Good. So this is one of the basic Pilates movements, but it really gets you working these deep abdominal muscles, really important for maintaining that neutral back position. Good. And again. And from here, we can come into a double tabletop position. So we're going to breathe in to prepare. And as you breathe out, you're going to lift your left leg, breathe in, and breathe out and lift your right leg. And we're in this tabletop position. Once we're here, we're going to maintain this position. We're going to breathe in, and we're going to come into 100. So you're going to lift up, and you're going to pulse there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax your head down, and drop your leg one by one. Good. And we're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, lift your left leg and your right leg, breathe in, and breathe out, and lift, and pulse there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. And so what we're doing is we're kind of combining lots of Pilates movements in a flowy way, so it's a really nice way to get a class to flow. Another example of an exercise we might do is a bridge exercise, and so a lot of you will be aware of this from kind of any exercise that you do in the gym, but we really need to make sure we do it in a way that's efficient, that we get good glute contraction, but we really get a good mobilization of our spine. So I'll talk you through how we do this one. So we're going to breathe in to prepare. We've got our nice belt tightened, we've got our neutral spine, our chin's tucked in, our arms are down, and we're all relaxed. We're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to keep that contraction, and you're just going to peel your spine up off the floor, really squeezing those glutes. And you know you're in a good position because you're in a ski slope position, so you're in a nice kind of line like this. And we're going to breathe in to hold. And as you breathe out, you're going to peel your spine back down the same way you came up. And again, breathe in to prepare, get your neutral pelvis. And as you breathe out, you're going to push through those heels and peel your spine up towards the ceiling. And you're going to hold that for 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to peel yourself back down. And we can combine this with some arm movements. Or we could get a ball, you could get a cushion and put it between your legs. Really good way of using those adductor muscles, your inner thigh muscles, which are really good for getting that core working as well. So we're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to squeeze your legs together, push through your heels, and you're going to peel your spine up towards the ceiling. We can keep in that position. We could lift our arms up. Good. And then you can hold that and breathe in. Keep your arms lifted and peel yourself back down. I love this exercise. It's a lovely way of getting a nice stretch through your back. Bring your arms back down. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to peel the spine up, 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 up. Lift your arms up. That's it. And then you're just going to peel yourself back down towards the floor. And once you're down, you can bring your arms up. There's other exercises that we can do. There's stuff on your side. There's a really good exercise that you can do on your front, which is called the leg pulling prone prep, which is a really difficult exercise, but it's really good for your core. So in this position, a lot of people arch their backs. They're in this position because we sit like this a lot throughout the day. So this is really good for like your posture and working the deep core muscles, but maintaining your upper back. So the same thing when we're in this position. So we need to make sure that we have our neutral pelvis, our belt tightened around, we're lengthening through the back of our head, our chin's tucked, and we've got a nice flat back. Okay. What we're going to do is you're going to tuck your feet under, You're going to maintain this position. You're going to breathe in to prepare. Ensure all 10 fingers are on the mat, and then you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, keep that position, and you're just going to hover your knees up off the floor for 3, 2, 1, and then bring yourself back down. Okay, so we're going to do that again. So we're going to breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, keep that neutral pelvis, and lift for 3, 2, 1, and back down. Good. And again, we're going to breathe in, keep that neck lengthened. We're going to breathe out, and we're just going to lift for 3, 2, 1, and back down. So that's a variation of an exercise. We do a lot of exercise from our front, getting the core working. And then finally, I'll talk you through a really well-known classic exercise called the clam. But it's quite key to get you set up correct for this exercise, because otherwise you'll just use these like lower back muscles. You won't use your glutes as you should do. So the way I like to think about it, have a cushion or something that you can rest your head on your arm. It's quite a lot more comfortable for you. You want to ensure that you've bent your knees to about 90 and your feet are in line with the back of your kind of back bum area. Okay, we're going to get into our position. Same thing applies. You need to make sure that you've got that belt tightened around there. Okay, we're going to breathe in. You can put your hands here, hands here. If you want to make it hard, you can put your hands here. There's so many variations that you can do. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to just lift that top leg up. Breathe in to hold. And as you breathe out, you're going to drop. Breathe in. Breathe out. And lift. Breathe in to hold. And breathe out to lower. So in the classes, there's so many variations we could do. So we could do, you breathe in, you breathe out and lift. You could then just come down and do little pulses. You could lift your legs up in this position. So you've made it harder. So then you clam in with your legs lifted. This is hard. You've got to keep your hips facing forwards though, and really use that core. Or in this position, you could then extend your top leg, drop down, extend, and drop down, and then you could drop. So there's so many variations, and there's a lot more exercises that you can do. I just wanted to show that there's a few different ones that you can do on your back, on your side, on your front. But one of the key principles is getting that deep abdominal contraction. And it's something that will take time to come, but through the classes we go through it all the time, the breathing, we go through it all together, and so you'll come to naturally find that deep abdominal contraction, and so it'll help you day to day with like sitting, standing, and so it can be really good for kind of pain relief or injury prevention. So I hope you have a bit more of an idea about what the classes involve. I'd be really excited if you would join me on a Sunday to do it. I know it's a good way of getting yourself prepped for the day ahead, and I can do one-to-one stuff as well with people if anyone's got any questions about the classes or specific exercises after we've done them that they want to be able to do at home a little bit. I can go through those as well and give you some print out sheets and things. So I hope you join me. I'd be really excited, and I'm really excited for the idea of doing it. So yeah, have a good Christmas, and hopefully I'll see you after the new year.